Just been running the generator for about an hour or so just to top up the batteries, even though it's sunny, even though we motored this morning, albeit for half an hour, just around the corner. We just needed to top up the batteries, and I thought it was just worth making a note of our power consumption in relation to the battery capacity that we have, especially in relation to lithium batteries, in case anyone is thinking of lithium batteries. So just to put this in context, we have two sets of 190 amp hour 12 volt batteries, so we total 380 amp hours. And I think under normal circumstances, if you had 380 lithium batteries, you would be okay as an average cruiser. But that is assuming that you are not running big powerful computers or an induction cooker or a bread oven or a rice maker. And that's the thing with lithium. It means that you suddenly have access to run all these luxuries on board the boat, which is great. But it does mean, of course, that you are cycling those batteries quite frequently. We decided to go induction because we wanted to get rid of the gas. But what it does mean is that you can use between 10 and 15% of your battery capacity if it's around about 400 amp hours. This does mean sometimes that we have to be a bit careful with using the induction cooker. We love curries, and we tend to cook them at lunchtime so that they can stew for a few hours. So that's normally the best time to do the cooking. Occasionally we find ourselves in the evenings, battery's a little bit low, and we're not really inclined to use the induction cooker. So assuming that you didn't have an induction cooker, and assuming that you're not editing videos with a big powerful computer with a big chunky graphics card that takes up a lot of power when you're rendering videos, then I would say 400 amp hours of lithium is good enough for most people. Given the choice though, I think we should have gone 600. We did try and buy another 200 amp hours of lithium batteries shortly before we left Malaysia because we wanted to run an additional freezer. Well, we went ahead and ran the freezer, but unfortunately the batteries never worked out. We received one dodgy cell. I tried to send it back. It had to be shipped back. The vendor wouldn't send me a replacement until he received the old battery and so on. And so by the time that was all sorted, we'd already left Malaysia. So we're still on 400 or 380 amp hours. We've since decommissioned the freezer because we're not doing long passages at the moment. And we're back to normal again. And we wake up, battery capacity is still around 65, 70, bright sunny day like this, and they're topped up by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Today we are doing the job that we should have done months ago. Little clue, we've got Superwoman up the mast. Can you see her? Where is she? She's somewhere up there, isn't she? We're fixing our VHF cable. Our old one has stopped working. Unfortunately, we can't run the cable down inside the mast as it normally is. So we've got to run it down the outside, which is a bit of a pain. So what Liz is doing is fits the new antenna on, and we're going to run it down the shrouds using zip ties and amalgamating tape. Now we did this before many years ago back in Turkey. We actually ended up getting very good reception. She's now going to make her way down sort of a metre at a time. First of all, zip tie off the coax cable to the shroud and then run the amalgamating tape around it. Do that about every sort of metre or so. We've hooked up with Hendra, and Hendra is the guy that we met a few weeks ago when we first came to Asahan. Now he's not local, but his wife is. She's from Asahan, and he's moved here to live with her. They now have a little baby, and this is where Hendra works. So he's been waiting on us this morning as we had our breakfast and lovely cappuccino. He also very kindly sorted out some fruit and vegetables for us the other day. And one thing on our list was curry leaves, which he wasn't able to source from the market. However, in the back garden of the resort, you can see Liz's reaction. Have a look at this.
The curry leaf. So Hendra's just brought us right through the resort to the back. This is where the staff live.
Yeah,
the
staff, the manager and then the head chef.
Okay,
and
manager and
for the other staff over there.
over there. A very nice setup, and they have a beautiful curry leaf plant growing here. Hendra says we can take some. Oh, it's so good. It's really essential for good curries, isn't it? It's really essential.
Yeah, you know, we have a curry, Sri Lanka and then Indian butter curry. We always use this leaf.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, particularly. I mean, we learnt about it when we were in India to use this, and it used to grow everywhere in India, and they use it in all their cooking, particularly in the South Carolina cooking. You always find curry leaf.
You know what? This tree is the only one in Gili Asahan.
Is it?
Yes.
Very expensive? How much for one leaf?
I don't know. But you can take it for free.
I should explain for those who don't know, and this is what I thought originally, was that a curry leaf smelled and tasted of curry. It doesn't. It is something completely different, quite unique, quite a distinctive flavour. And as we just heard, of course, they add it to curries, obviously, for cooking. But it's also dried. You quite often find it if, for example, you're served up a little tray of nuts to go with your beer.
We could have more, but I thought we should just take, you know, what we can use now. I think it'd be greedy to take more.
That's plenty.
Because we've all, you know, look at the tree's been denuded for us.
Look at this beautiful morning, eh? Bright, clear day. Over there you can see the volcano of Bali. Probably the clearest we've seen it in a long while, actually. Anyway, today we're just going to go for just a little motor around to the other side of Gili Gedi. We might try and get the sails out as well. It's been a while since we got them out. I'm just worried that they're going to come out looking green rather than white. So we won't get any sailing in, as you can probably tell. There's no wind, but it just gives us a chance just to check all the systems.
Well, we're leaving our beautiful anchorage, this lovely anchorage between Asahan and Lombok. We've been here twice, and to be honest with you, I could stay for another 2 months. It's just, I don't know what it is, it's something idyllic about the place. It reminds us both a little bit of Turkey, the first place where we first started sailing Esper. It's nice and enclosed, there are great beaches, not too much in the way of tourism, very friendly locals, villages, great, oh, I don't know. Anyway, don't know why we're going. But we're going to take Esper somewhere new, somewhere we haven't anchored before, not far, probably around the other side of Gili Gedi. The weather seems to be okay, there doesn't seem to be any swell, but we'll know when we get there if we can anchor there. It is such a lovely day, but my God, the sun is so hot.
Got a sail out. No wind, as I said earlier, but what I'm pleased to report is that it's still white. There's no green on it at all. We've had so much rain recently, and of course the sails haven't been furled out for a while, so I was just a bit worried. It feels a bit damp still, but if nothing else, it's going to dry off in this lovely weather. Now the charts here reckon that there's a huge 3-metre shallow patch in this bay. There's possibly a shallow bit there, as I can see with my polarised glasses, but we've noticed on the chart someone has marked 20 odd metres through this channel, so just have to take everything with a pinch of salt. So just nice and slowly. Not going to be sailing far today, but it's just nice to check on all the systems and the sails and make sure that everything's okay. So far so good, but that's only one of 4, of course. So we have now got half the head sail out as well. As I pan round, you should be able to see it there. Now I've only got half out because I put a new furling line on this, and I think I may have mentioned previously that putting a new furling line in the drum is the most difficult job I've ever done on this boat. So I cheated. What I did was I kept the old line in there, cut it off after 2 turns, and I've actually bowlined the new knot to the old one. Over time this bowline will start to flatten out, but at the moment I think the drum is probably a little bit overloaded, so It's going to need a few sort of furling and unfurlings before it settles in and beds in properly. So I'm just taking it nice and easy, because of course what I don't want to do is to have that sail stuck out fully and not be able to get it away. So just being cautious as always.
I've just felt both the sails, and certainly the foresail is quite damp. The staysail not so bad, but there doesn't seem to be any mould, so that's good. Bit creased.
Got that unused look.
Yeah. Just decided to take the main out, take a look at it, see what the sail looks good. Came out reasonably quickly, car got stuck, but the outhaul, the outhaul has got a big kind of nick out of it all the way to the core, so that's not good. We're going to have to replace that line for sure. We think that it was caught, it kind of happened where the gooseneck is, and maybe it's just been rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, I don't know.
It's new.
Yeah, ish, yeah. 2019.
Okay, jibe home. Is that you're good?
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Okay, go. It's still cool here, isn't it?
Good.
Should be
That's
alright.
better. You going the right way?
Yeah, it's quite tight. Okay.
What's that?
Maybe a bit more. Okay.
So they're all up, all the sails are up, and we've got 12 to 13 knots of wind, and we're making 4.5 to 5 knots just on this little test run, just checking, making sure all the sails work. So far so good. It's just nice to get out and feel a bit of wind on your skin and some ocean beneath your feet.
These funny little eddies just here,
Yeah, came across that before you.
and it was pushing us over to land.
Right.
So I'm hoping we can get off the wing once we get past it. There aren't many sailboats here in this area, and what few there are kind of anchored around the marina and Asahan. We've seen a couple of people that we know, but not many people out here. The only sails that you're seeing are the fishermen, and we've seen these guys before, and they're not cheating, you know, they're genuinely sailing without their engine. He's going back to Gilly, possibly to the anchorage that we are planning to go to. So it's quite nice sharing these gentle seas with our sails out too, with the local fishermen. Look at it.
Beautiful clear blue sky above us, but all around above the islands are clouds gathering together. So by mid to late afternoon I expect we'll have rain, possibly a storm or two. So we'll find somewhere to anchor off Gilly hopefully, and yeah, find some nice safe place to enjoy the rest of the day.
Sails away and we're back to Gilly-Geddy. We're on the east side because a lot of the weather at the moment is coming from the west. In fact, that nice little sail we just had was a westerly breeze. So we're actually going to be going quite close to Joe's village, our electrician Joe. There are quite a few fishing boats coming in, but we're probably going to anchor north of it just to stay out their way. But here's one approaching our starboard beam.